The very same.
There is no bottom to Binjpipe's content pit. Binjpipe is still contractually bound to bring you don't know Jack. Binjpipe, experts in youth culture.
I'm Cookie, and the spot where my intro joke usually goes has been sold by Binjpipe to Flax & Myers Crude Oil. Flax & Myers, there's nothing funny about crude oil. If one player wins the game and no one is around to see it, did it even happen? Now, remember, after this moment, you will be forever changed.
Time for question 1.
To begin with, you can have the remote when I'm dead. They say we're living in a golden age of television, and there's no better time to appreciate this than when a stringy-haired demon girl is going to crawl out of it and strangle you. Say you accidentally watch the cursed VHS tape from The Ring. Which show could you binge watch in the time you have left before you die? Every episode of Friends, every episode of the original Law & Order, every episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, or every episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I love this part. No, you're dead, and it's probably Wesley's fault. The better choice would have been, The Curse in the Ring gives you 1 week to live, which is enough time to watch all 236 half-hour episodes of Friends. And who knows, Janice's laugh could frighten off Samara before she gets to you.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
How about this one? Troublemaker. While ascending the chromatic scale, which creepy note does G always find following right behind him? The loathsome H, the eerie F sharp, the harrowing A, or the bone-chilling B flat? So what'd you pick? The note G is directly preceded by an F sharp. F's also haunted me throughout my academic career.
Why don't we do it with 3?
And now, obligatory Uranus pun. But there's no time for wordplay. It's a dis or dat. I'm gonna list off some planets from our solar system, but also some Sex and the City characters. For each one, you'll tell me if they've got a ring or if there's not a ring. And ring in this case meaning wedding band or floating circle of space debris. Don't think too hard. I'm only giving you a few seconds to decide between ring or no ring. Okay, let's do it. Saturn. Charlotte. Jupiter. Mars. Miranda. Samantha. Venus. It would be really sad if you bragged about this. Now let's keep going.
I don't need you anymore.
Introducing Avenge Me. Which member of the superhero team, the Avengers, is also the king of Wakanda? T'Challa, 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 or T'Challa? Let's see how that shook out. That's the correct spelling of T'Challa, the Black Panther. This one's called, I'm Not Here to Make Franz. The only thing worse than being on an awkward first date is having it available in a box set. What would you hear on The Bachelor if the producers decided the color of the flowers given out should directly match each contestant's name? Ebony, would you accept this jasmine? Jade, would you accept this cardinal? Amber, would you accept this sunflower? Or Scarlet, would you accept this violet? And how'd we do? I don't know if there is a connection here. Yeah, you're gonna kick yourself. Sunflowers are a rich yellow color, otherwise known as amber. Sure, it's okay when it's on TV, but when I try to date 20 women at one time, it's called a cult. Round one is officially behind us. Can I get you anything? You good on water? Great. Oh, and remember, questions are worth twice as much in round two. Okay, buckle in.
6 trombones is not a parade.
Behold, goo goo gaga. If a pregnant woman wants to make sure foul language isn't the first thing her baby hears, which of the following movie nights should she skip? Watching Seven at 7 weeks, watching 12 Monkeys at 12 weeks, watching 25th Hour at 25 weeks, or... Okay, what'd you pick? I am Groot. Should have picked this. Around week 25 and 26 of pregnancy, babies start to hear sounds from outside the womb. It's also the best time to introduce your baby to actor Barry Pepper, so tough decision.
Je trouve Jerry Lewis sonnant légèrement amusant. 7.
Why not try type equals squiggly bracket leadership comma global squiggly bracket?
Accept all cookies, don't clear your cache. It's time for data mining.
It's time to let Binjpipe do their dastardly deeds.
Here's the data we scraped. Kate McKinnon, Nachamin Navigiere zum Bundestag, was ist austerity? Whose search history have we acquired? Margaret Thatcher, Angela Merkel, Indira Gandhi, or Benazir Bhutto?
Okay, let's take a look. Yep, this seems to belong to Angela Merkel, German Chancellor and widely regarded as one of the most powerful people in the world. She's also been played by Kate McKinnon on SNL.
Thank you for helping us identify your global leaders. This information will help us with Binjpipe's next phase.
Hey, question.
At Binjpipe, we value your needs. Would you like a question with nuts or a question without nuts? Choose your content. And now, we'll fulfill our promise and deliver your content.
'Twas then I learned to heed the winds of age.
Take a good look at a question without nuts. What's the name of the eunuch from Game of Thrones? Littlefinger, Lord Varys, Khal Drogo, or Hodor? Hope you like what you picked. Oh, you tried so hard. Watch how easy this is. Lord Varys was castrated as part of a bizarre magical ritual. Keep that in mind the next time a magician asks for a volunteer.
Na, 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 na.
Coming up next, can't get a dateline. Say the events of Fyodor Dostoevsky's classic novel Crime and Punishment are featured in an episode of Dateline NBC. What pithy episode title would make the most sense? The ingenue's fateful ride, the pawnbroker and the murderer. So what'd you pick? And answer, most foul. I thought it was obvious it was this one. In Crime and Punishment, the protagonist, Rodion Raskolnikov, murders an old pawnbroker woman. Or did he? I mean, he did. It's explicitly stated, but I'm trying to build some suspense here, people.
Sabes que es lindo, yes, perritos.
Here's one I like to call, it's a thinker. Let's see what Marmaduke is up to. You can't eat a whole turkey! Why do giant dogs make me laugh so much? Because of my limbic system, because of my cerebrum, because of my cerebellum, or because of my brain? Okay, what'd you pick? You can't walk and laugh at the same time. Here's the answer that got away. The limbic system's hippocampus and the amygdala work in concert to create laughter. So if you don't find this game funny, it's not our fault. Your brain is wrong. Welcome to the attack. When you see an answer that matches the category, tap it on your device. The faster you pick a right answer, the more cash you make. And more than one answer can be right. But each time you're wrong, I'm taking some cash away. And don't forget, it's gotta be a match that fits this clue. A walk in the parks. Enjoy a nice walk through these park-themed prompts. Good luck. That's it! Winning, losing, it's such a blurry line when you're by yourself, isn't it? Maybe next time you'll have a more impressive score to go along with your victory. Until then... You don't know Jack!
Binjpipe, much to the chagrin of its board of directors, presents You Don't Know Jack. Binjpipe, snack on this content.
I'm Cookie, and to paraphrase my dad, I love you, son. Looks like it's just you, me, and that dark, shadowy figure behind you. Fun! And so it begins.
Time for question 1.
First on the docket, good tidings, my ass. Every Christmas, carolers come to my door demanding figgy pudding and singing, "We won't go until we get some, we won't go until we get some." What crime are they committing? Assault, breaking and entering, extortion, or black... I love this part. The correct answer is... extortion is the use of threats to obtain someone else's property. In this case, my sweet, sweet figgy pudding. How many people have turned to crime over a little figgy pudding? Can't we be happy with just the good tidings?
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Coming up, hola, mi nombre es Cookie Masterson. ¿Qué está celebrando el 5 de mayo? El comienzo de la Guerra de la Independencia. Okay, let's take a look. El 5 de mayo conmemora la derrota del Imperio Francés por el ejército mexicano en la Batalla de Puebla. Para todos los hispanohablantes, gracias por jugar nuestro juego. Esos tontos hablantes de inglés no pueden entender una palabra de lo que estoy diciendo. ¡Qué montón de idiotas!
Why don't we do it with free?
Let's try ask your doctor if toys are right for you. Hey, over here. Hello? Now that I have your attention, it's time for Dis or Dat. I'm gonna read off 7 names, and for each one, I want you to tell me if it's a brand of fidget spinners or a doctor-prescribed ADHD medication. Think fast, you'll only get a few seconds to pick between a fidget spinner or an ADHD drug. Ready? Let's go. Zec Pro. Quillovant. Trianium. Addison. Datron. Focalin. Drowsebust. Hey, let's hear it for lucky guesses. All right, let's move on.
I don't need you anymore.
Oh, here's a good one. Don't take Nova for an answer. I don't have a son, but I have a son, and I'm very proud of it for getting its life together and removing carbon from calcium, turning hydrogen. And how do we do? The core of the sun creates fusion through heat and pressure that turns hydrogen into helium. Some say it's not healthy to put that much pressure on your sun, but I'm one of those individuals who just can't help but constantly orbit them. Here's one for you. Furry, adorable justice. Picture it. Steve from Blue's Clues is wrongly charged with murder, and Blue must mount a desperate defense for the trial. What kind of clues is Blue looking for? Exculpatory evidence, inadmissible evidence, inculpatory evidence, or anecdotal evidence? Let's see how that shook out. This proves someone committed a crime. Imagine Blue walking into court with Steve's murder scrapbook. Is what you had in mind? That's evidence that directly disproves someone committed a crime. If anyone's going to jail, it's that mailbox. I mean, talk about a red flag. That's it for round 1. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Oh, right. Oh, and did I mention all the money's doubled in round 2? Okay, off we go.
6 trombones is not a parade.
It's time for This Question Ain't Nothing to F With. If the Wu-Tang Clan had named themselves after things invented during the Tang Dynasty, who would not be a member? Old Dirty Porcelain, Ghostface Gunpowder, Inspector Hourglass, or Woodblock Printing Method Man? So what'd you pick? There are no records of the hourglass existing before a French monk made one in the 8th century. Old Dirty Porcelain is known for his outrageously profane lyrics about his hummels.
La vie est un canard. 7.
Next up, calculating some hourglass figures. That last question got me thinking about sand timers. You know those little plastic hourglasses that come with some board games? Boggle, Taboo, Apples to Apples, Clue, and Jenga. How many of these games are traditionally sold with any kind of timer? Oh, and include Settlers of Catan and Scattergories in your tally. 3, 4, 5, or 6. I love this part. Boggle and Taboo usually come with little sand timers. Scattergories too, although that game eventually added a mechanical timer, which still counts. It still counts because it's a timer. It counts down time. No? Okay.
Hey, question.
We'd like to initiate a moment of playful interactivity. Would you like a question about feet or a question about faces? Select your selection. You have engaged with the process.
'Twas then I learned to heed the winds of eight.
Here we have a question about faces. In military terms, if you turned about face, you would turn 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 200... Okay, let's take a look. Nope, not this one. For what it's worth, to turn about face means to turn so you're facing the opposite way. And in military terms, I'm known as cannon fodder.
Na 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 na.
Feast your eyes upon this. Type equals squiggly bracket Hollywood, comma, contemporary squiggly bracket.
Accept all cookies, don't clear your cache. It's time for data mining.
Yeah, so Binjpipe has this whole troubling thing they do where they need help identifying some data.
We can interface directly now.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Find a quiet place. Prada pitchforks. And quiz, marry who from The Office. Whose search history have we acquired? Reese Witherspoon, Emily Blunt, Natalie Portman, or Renee Zellweger.
Okay, what'd you pick? This was the one.
Emily Blunt starred in the movies The Quiet Place and The Devil Wears Prada. The former was directed by her husband, John Krasinski, who starred in the TV show The Office.
Does her search history ever include anything about me?
Definitively no.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sabes que es lindo, yes, perritos.
Up next, for whom the doorbell tolls. Knock knock, who's there? The first person to make a knock knock joke. Mark Twain who? Oscar Wilde who? Roald Dahl who? Or William Shakespeare who? Hope you like what you picked. Aren't you glad you didn't guess banana? I really wanted you to pick this one. William Shakespeare is the first author to use the phrase, knock knock who's there, to set up a joke in recorded history. This bit is almost as good as when Hamlet contemplated why the fowl trespassed the country path. You made it to the attack. When you see an answer that matches the category, tap it on your device. Ah, I see you already know the rules. Here's your clue. What's the points? Time to earn some points on some point-related questions. Good luck. There you have it. I mean, what do you want me to say here? You played by yourself. It was more like taking a Cosmo quiz than winning a trivia game. You could have done better, but hey, who cares? Nobody's here to witness your mediocrity. And here's another little secret.
You don't know Jack!
Hi, I'm Austin Creed, and I've got a brand new show on Binjpipe called